Chris, where on earth do you start with trying to sum up that game of football?
Just sum up, I think, is the best word to describe it. Epitomise everything in our season, on and off the pitch. On the pitch, at times really good. Never looked like a team that was languishing in the position that we were. First half, we should be 3 or 4-0 up. All we had to do is see one run out as well. The two centre halves just get tight together, but they didn't, and allowed a world-class forward to stick it in the back of the net. And you've seen the amount of chances that we have. It's just ridiculous, and the quality of our play. And the way we were calm and composed and played our way against one of the top sides in the division. And then we go on to the negative parts of it. We come out second half, and then all of a sudden, we make defensive lapses, defensive errors, giving away a penalty, dropping too deep on a free kick. One situation where one of their boys has skipped through 3, 4 or 5 tackles where I'm expecting somebody to make a tackle, because it is a competitive game and we have to make tackles, and if we don't make tackles, we don't break that up. So then, and we talk about yet again how we fail regarding from a leadership point of view. One was our leader did come onto the pitch and he could only do half an hour, but he put his hand up before the game. And you look around when you get into those situations, and I've said before, it quickly goes from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and it's just happened so many times. So it can't be fluke. It's because, for me, I will honestly say, I think it's because of lack of experience, lack of leaders in there. So that is obviously something that we've reviewed and reflected. And then 2 bits right at the end for me. 2 bits right at the end, and one involving Bruno on Ben Berendiers, where he just pushes him with 2 hands in the lead up to his goal, and the penalty at the end. VAR decision that goes against is absolutely ridiculous. And the final bit for me, the best part of the football club is those people in them up in that stand at the end that stayed right the way to the end and have seen a lot of poor football this season, because it's been a poor season, and they've travelled and they've earned the money and they've been there and they've supported us, and rightly so. They've walked out on games that I've been manager as well, and I've got absolutely no issue about that, because it hasn't been good enough, but it will be good enough next year. It will be 100% good enough next year. They won't be walking out, and they'll be there up in the stands, home and away, and we'll get it right, and we'll get the club back where we feel it should be.
Yeah. To sing for that last 5 minutes, to applaud you off the field, I can see in your face, Chris, as a blade and the manager of the football club, how much you're hurting tonight at relegation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I came in a difficult situation. Unfortunately, I've not been able to change it around. There's been moments. There's been good moments. There's been great moments, like, the first 45 minutes. I'm looking and thinking, just look at the way the players play. Like I said to you, with the young players, I thought Brooks, Hoblaster yet again, Bogle yet again were outstanding. It does. We have to. It's not. We're not jumping through hoops. It's been a really, really poor season. I think there's mitigating circumstances to it. I think we'll all have our own ideas and whatever, but physically we've not been good enough. Availability, we've not had that opportunity to work with the players week in, week out, day in, day out. So those little things get ironed out. I think there's a lack of leadership in the group. A lot of the Premier League experience is back home in Sheffield or wherever them boys live. And the Premier League is absolutely ruthless. If you don't put Newcastle to bed first half, then you open the door and you allow them that opportunity to put you to bed. And if you look at it in terms of the play first half and second half, I think it's pretty even. We absolutely dominated the first half in terms of the chances that we created, and they absolutely dominated us in the second half and put us to bed. So a lot of things there wrapped in. But I said to the players afterwards, which I've said in the week, it's been a poor season. We all have to accept that. I think some will accept it a little bit more than others. So we'll make those changes. I quite like this part of the season because I can be a little bit more open, a little bit more honest. I've maybe took myself in a little bit recently and not really, done or said how I really want to say and do because we've had to rely on this group of players. But we'll get it right. Coaching staff will get it right. I'll get it right. It's a long summer. It's going to be an incredibly busy one, but we'll get players in. We'll get players that want to play for that shirt and want to represent the football club, and as I said to the boys afterwards, a poor season, but it's a really good football club and a lot of good things going for it, and we should remember and put this in the back of our minds, and this feeling, and hopefully that'll galvanise the players who have the opportunity, because some players won't have that opportunity. They'll go back on loan. They'll possibly players that we won't be offering contracts to, and the lucky ones will have an opportunity to put this season right and get us back to where we want to be.
Does it have to be a different version of Sheffield United if the club gets back up?
Yeah, definitely. In my opinion, I think I know what good looks like. We've done it before, and listen, are we gonna pop ourselves up into ninth place? I'm not sure that gets repeated. If I'm totally honest, in terms of the way the Premier League is now for any promoted club, and looking at what happened, and I'm not harping on and going back to that, but it's a fantastic example that if you really want to do well and try and bridge that gap and give everything for the cause, day in, day out, week in, week out, and we get that culture right and we get everything absolutely spot on, then good things can happen to you. You find yourselves getting lucky decisions. You find yourselves being on the right side of results. So, like I said, we've got no complaints about it. We've not been good enough. Everybody involved in that, from the playing side of it, it hasn't been good enough, and you find yourself in the position that we are, and it's fully deserved.
How are you going to utilise these last 3 games now? Are you going to potentially have a look at some other people, try some different things? Is it all about?
Absolutely not. If you can produce that performance in the first half, there's a massive game against Forest as the local rivals. There's obviously a bit in the game, as we all know historically. So we need to produce 2 massive performances at home and a big performance away from home. And as you said, I'm 2 weeks on the spin now. I'm scratching my head at half time. In terms of, and goals change games and change attitudes. So yet again, like I said, epitomise where we're at. So we're at it. And if things change, people have that opportunity to play. But in terms of the youngsters, yet again, Arblaster, yet again, Brooks, we're spot on. So, we'll pick that best team to hopefully get a big result I don't think it'll be a flat afternoon at Bramall Lane. I think it'll be absolutely up there, and we have to do our bit, and we have to ignite the place, because we need to give our supporters something to hang on to through the summer. I've got a vision. I've got a plan. We can if we can execute that. But like I said, we need to make sure that this season finishes with something that gives everybody a little bit more of an easier summer. It's a difficult summer. We understand that, but like I said, keep saying about it. This is a really good football club, and the players that come into it will realise and recognise. Maybe some of them that maybe aren't here next year will not realising how good a football club this is, but it is.
Thank you, Chris.
Cheers.